What a glorious day it is. Welcome back to my channel. This is the second video I'm publishing. Ugh, who am I? This is the second video I'm doing, and this is UFC 314 post-event thoughts. So get your cup of tea or whatever it is you're drinking, and let's get into it. First of all, we have to talk about this trend, and it didn't just happen at UFC 314. It's been happening for a few events now, but it really pissed me off on Saturday night. I'm of course talking about ground control with zero intention to do any damage. Now, I know sometimes it isn't always possible to do damage. You've got hold of your wrist, so it's a bit tricky, but this idea of, well, I'm just going to lay on top of them. If you're going to take someone down and just lay there like a human paperweight, keep your hand down at the end of that fight when that bell rings. You didn't win. You held on. You couldn't just jam a little cheeky shoulder into their chin. No elbows. No? Then you weren't trying to win. I'm sorry. I know that's like a bit rich coming from someone who doesn't fight, but come on. Now let's talk about Darren Elkins. I say this with nothing but love, but someone get that man an intervention. Charging forward and getting rocked with almost every shot and then still charging forward. Brother, I say this with love. I truly do. That's not grit anymore. That's just reckless. Are you trying to speed run CTE? That's all I'm going to say. Someone sit that man down for an intervention, please. Then we have the child. He's starting to look less like a child, but I'm of course talking about Chase Hooper versus Jim Miller. I just thought this was a phenomenal fight. I think it was perhaps overlooked in the build-up, but it was just high-level grappling. You could see both guys really respected each other. They both came in looking so sharp. Let's forget how old Jim Miller is and how long he's been doing this. They both looked sharp. I think Chase looks almost unrecognisable from his last fight. I feel like he's had such an improvement, and I always thought like big things were going to happen for Chase Hooper, but now I'm even more sure of it. He looked great, and like I say, you could tell both guys respected each other, but they 100% came to just throw down and do what they needed to do. I just love that fight, and I needed to talk about it. Okay, Dominic Reyes. Look, I'm happy to see you back, and in good form, but a title shot. Why are you talking about a title shot? I'm all for big dreams and aspirations. I'm never going to take that away from anyone. But please do not get carried away. Let's give it a minute. Maybe let the dust settle on this win. Because honestly, nobody's banging down the door to see that fight just yet. And I'm sorry. Let's just give it a minute, maybe. Maybe there's a few other people ahead of you. Anyone ahead of you in that conversation. I'm sorry, Dom. Really, really sorry, Dom. And then we move on to the fight that I knew was going to be two people trying to rip each other's heads off. Oh my days. Bryce must be so pissed that he had to tap to the devil, to the guy that thinks that the earth isn't flat. Like, I'm sorry. I just feel like Bryce is absolutely fuming and spiraling about this one, and it kind of makes me laugh because I used to like Bryce. I used to think he was like really funny and kind of adorable, that he'd like work out in jeans. I was like, you silly goose, how cute is that? And then he just went a bit strange. So yeah, congratulations, Silver. Oh, and next, I really want to talk about Paddy. Say what you want about the Scouser. Everyone's got an opinion on this man. I think a lot of people, despite not liking Paddy and not thinking he's very good, were unsure how to call this fight, like what way it was going to go. Because like I said in my previous video, Michael Chandler's got like 0 fight IQ. Yes, he might have the biggest hands, according to himself, and he might hit like a truck, according to himself. But as soon as that cage door closes, motherfuckers... training just goes out the window. He just does dumb shit. And so I think a lot of people are like, ugh, I don't know how to call this one. They don't like Paddy. And then they've got Michael Chandler to bet on, who just isn't very consistent. But say what you want, Paddy's stock has definitely gone up. I'm sorry. I know people probably aren't going to like that, but it 100% has. And I'm not just saying that as someone from the same country as him, a fellow countryman. You can't convince me otherwise. So I'm in a group chat with other MMA content creators, and Lewis said it perfectly. Chandler looks like he was in a car crash. Paddy looked so good. I thought he looked great before the fight. I thought he looked the best he's ever looked. And then what really made me laugh, sort of in relation to the Paddy fight, was seeing Covington talking about Paddy fighting bums or people that were 2-6. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And then, of course, we talk about the greatest moment of my Sunday morning. We, of course, could talk about Volkanovski versus Lopez. Oh, this was such a good fight. I'll be totally honest, I thought Volk looked quite hesitant to start with, but can anyone blame him? 2 back-to-back losses. No, it's more than that, isn't it?
How many losses is it? Is it 2 or 3? Hang on a minute.
The way he lost, that's bound to mess with anyone's head, I think. And of course, all the naysayers being like, he's so old, he can't do it. And then people talking about him looking frail. Sorry? I think some people don't know the meaning of the word frail, because I don't think that man looked frail at all. If anything, I think he looked like he was in the best shape of his life. And I'm not just saying that now because, you know, after the fact, knowing that he's won, he's had this extended period of time out. Upon reflection, he's probably well aware that he should have taken more time. To say that that man looked frail is actually diabolical. Did look hesitant to start off with, but he found his rhythm and he knew what to be doing. He knew not to allow Lopez to kind of get him in the pocket, and just the movement and the few times he got rocked, my heart stopped. But, you know, my man did it. But Lopez, I must admit, I did expect a little bit more from Lopez. But, like, I also don't want to criticise him because he hasn't even been in the UFC that long. Like, what, just over 2 years or just under 2 years? I did expect a little bit more. Obviously, he landed a few good shots that rocked Volk ever so slightly, but I just feel like after he would rock Volk, he didn't press. Like, he didn't try and push the pace. He just kind of, not even sat, he kind of did sit back a little bit. It's such a momentous occasion that maybe the nerves got to him a little bit, but I don't think this is the end for Lopez. He's young. He's what, like 29 or something? He's still young. He's got plenty of time. All I wanted to do after the fight was give him a hug. He looked so sad and so downtrodden, and I've got absolutely nothing but love for Lopez. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. It wasn't his night, but this is not the end. This cannot be the end for Lopez. He's phenomenal. I don't doubt for a second that he won't get a title shot again. Volkanovski is featherweight champion again. I can relax now. I mean, my heart was beating so hard throughout that entire fight. And then the few times he got rocked, it would just stop. I think, to summarise, UFC 314 didn't disappoint. Truly, I thought we got some really entertaining fights. We got to see some really high-level performances from some incredible folk. I think UFC 314, overall, pretty top-notch night. Okay, over to you. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were from the night. And seeing as this is for YouTube, make sure you subscribe and you like. For all the people that have seen my other videos so far, thank you so much for all the nice things you're saying. It really means a lot. I am an incredibly small channel, so the fact that you take your time to comment means a lot. Have a great week. I will see you for the next pay-per-view. See you in the comments.